Hello, hi, and welcome to Political Quickie, your political show that subjectively discusses current affairs in South Africa and all around the world. My name is Mapa Sikamura. Now, it is 11 o'clock at night, and all of this is a result of intense exam preparation, so please do not judge, right? Let's however move on into our show. We are still doing our election series, and we are discussing political party manifestos, and lucky number one is the Democratic Alliance, which is the official opposition in parliament and has 22% of the total votes. Now, the DA's manifesto is mostly economy based, like a good 60% of the content in there is based on the economy. Now, the objectives of the DA are to, number one, create economic growth and jobs. Number two, create a caring and opportunity-rich South Africa. And number three, to create a capable state that is staffed with qualified and fit-for-purpose people. I guess John Steenhuisen is one of those people. The DA wants to ensure that each and every household in South Africa has a job by introducing the Jobs Act. They want to unbundle state-owned enterprises, and they want to scrap the mining charter altogether, which actually ensures black and women ownership in mining. Now, they also want to revise the Minerals and Petroleum Resources Development Act, which actually makes the state the custodian of our mineral resources. So instead, they want to take the power from politicians and officials and give it to business people. They want to ensure that business people have more liberty to do business in South Africa, and that officials and politicians don't make those critical decisions when it comes to our minerals. The Jobs Act will provide a labor flexibility exemption clause that will make hiring and firing way easier than it already is. And also, it will ensure that potential employees can opt out of the minimum wage. And according to the DA, the minimum wage will not be anything less than the current old age grant, which is currently 1,780 rands. The DA will also introduce an entrance exam for civil servants, and it will also codify sexual exploitation as a distinct type of corruption. Workers will be able to hold elections in order to decide whether or not they want a strike action, and trade unions will be held liable for any damage caused to any private or public property during a strike. They will also be held liable for any intimidation and assault by their members. The DA wants to introduce what is called the National Civilian Service Year, which will be for matriculants who do not qualify for university. They will get to intern in the public sector, and they will be provided with a stipend with skills, experience, and maybe a job in future. Now, the DA wants to cap the national debt at 60% of the gross domestic product, and of course they want to reduce the size of the public sector wage bill. When it comes to state-owned enterprises, SAA will be put under business rescue, and Eskom will be unbundled into electricity generation and transmission entities. Yeah. So an independent body will be established that will buy electricity from electricity generators and sell it to distributors. Now, certain municipalities will be able to purchase electricity straight from these electricity generators. The DA plans to partially and fully privatize state-owned enterprises. Now, there will be profit-driven and not ideology-driven. And also, the Department of Public Enterprises will be done away with, and the respective SOEs will go to different departments. Like, for instance, Transnet will fall under the Department of Transport, and Eskom will fall under the Department of Energy. On the land question, The DA does not believe in the expropriation of land without compensation. However, they will distribute land that is government owned for housing. Okay. Now, in terms of housing, there are three options. Number one, if you earn less than 4,000 rands, then you can apply for an RDP house. Number two, if you earn more than 4,000 rands but less than 15,000 rands, then you are eligible for a voucher of between 60 to 150,000 rands, and you can do different things with that amount. So number one, you could build a house on the land that the DA government will give you. Number two, you could use that money to buy land anywhere else you would like to buy land. Number three, you could use it to improve a structure on land you already own. Number four, you could use it to buy an already existing house. The third option is for those who want to live in the inner city. Number one, you could go for low-cost social housing. And number two, you could rent to buy. The DA will make buying a house cheaper and will also subsidize graduates with in-demand skills between the ages of 20 to 25. Now the program will be for a year and 2 months after they have been employed. This is only available for, graduates who do not have access to the city, and this program will only happen if property owners come on board. The DA will make it illegal for police officers to not report a domestic violence and also not following due process. Now, an electronic tracking system will be implemented that will be used to track the complainant as well as the perpetrator. Now, the DA will make South Africa great again, okay, by securing our borders. They're not gonna build a wall, but they are gonna, intensify border security. And on the other hand, they're going to launch a campaign that will convince South Africans with skills that have left the country to come back home. Now for my commentary. The most memorable phase for me in the entire manifesto is this. Okay, it is our intention to not only be pro-poor, but to be pro-all South Africans. For an inclusive and stable economy, the government cannot take sides, but must be able to function as a neutral agent responsible for opening the playing field and maximizing opportunities. That to me sounds like an oxymoron. That is oxymoronic. Okay, you cannot be neutral and pro-poor at the same time. That is why the Constitution talks about unfair discrimination, because there is discrimination that is fair, that is necessary for redress, and you cannot be lukewarm about addressing issues that affected people, that affected especially black people, and now say, no, we want everyone else to be happy with the results and how this is going to be done. You can't do that. You cannot be neutral about redress. You cannot be neutral about change. The DA is apologetic about black economic empowerment. They believe that everyone should support race-based redress. They believe that it's not a zero-sum game where you take from one race and give to another. And their solution to that is that they will expand the economy. But I cannot see how you can expand the economy and empower black people by keeping the minimum wage at 1,780 rands. It's just not possible. I can commend the DA for the National Civilian Service. That's a great idea. Can also commend you for the housing policy. The vouchers sound exciting, even though, 150,000 rands is not enough. But your policies as a whole, and I advise everyone, who's planning to vote to go and actually read them. Your policies are anti-black and anti-poor. Okay, they actually pro-business and pro-profit. Okay, and you cannot be neutral in politics. You need to pick a side. Okay, so at the end of the day, like someone I know said, I cannot in good conscience vote for the DA. Everything that you propose is not in sync with my ideologies and what I want for this country. Yeah. My name is Mapa Sikamura. Use your talents to serve humanity, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Hopefully during the day. Yeah. I love you guys.